Hey everybody, it's me, Cindy Dean. I want to talk to you a little bit about your research journal. Okay, so you've already seen a couple PowerPoints with my voice narrating them. I thought it'd be great if you could actually see me when I talked about this. So in your syllabus, I've asked you to keep your research journal as a Google folder, but I've been really thinking about that, and I think about my own experience as a researcher. And while I kept a lot of notes electronically, my favorite mode of recording was in hardbound notebooks, and I brought them with me so I could share with you. I'm recording from home. If you can hear that wind, the wind is really blowing up here. It's whistling around my window, and I apologize for that, but it's really too hot to close the window. So, here are my journals. There are two of them. These are the two journals that I filled up when I was doing my doctoral research for my dissertation. I purchased these at Barnes & Noble, and I think they're very cool. And it's a nice hardcover so that it doesn't get all wrinkled up when you put it in your bag and so forth. And I use my journals for many things. This one I used as keeping notes from my literature review. So I was able to, now it's backwards, but you can see in my handwriting and my scribbling, I was keeping notes on various books and so forth and so on. And then I also used it, and I would like you to use your journals to record what you're learning from your text. And then when we get to your literature review, it's a place for you to keep your notes about the literature that you're reading as well. It's also a place to keep observational notes if you choose to do observations. It's also a place to keep notes about your reflections on the methodology that you're choosing. For example, you might create a critique of the way you're going about this, and you'll note the time and place and so forth. It can be about theoretical notes about your data. So this one is more about when I started analyzing the data. And you can see I did a little graphic of my research questions and the data that pertain to that. So I have this little graphic on the very front. And then my notes, are all here. You can see that I have raw data of numbers and so forth where I was crunching data and looking at things. You'll see that I have, notes about my participants, mass, different, I've given them pseudonyms, of course. And then, as I'm analyzing the data, I'm taking notes like, here we have implications, so I'm thinking about what are the implications of what I've just done, and I'm taking my notes in this book, and so forth. So the research journal is multifaceted, okay? What you're learning from your text, so it's a kind of a reading journal. And also going to be recording ideas from the PowerPoints and lectures I do and from the class interactions. It's just a place for you to do some thinking on paper. And then a place to record, when you get your literature review, notes that you can put in here, observational notes, methodological notes, theoretical notes, and analytical notes. So it's really, a rich place for keeping everything together, okay? So while a Google folder would be easier for me to read because I can just go to a Google folder and read everything, it doesn't give you the opportunity to do some of the things that I did here in my book, where I'm, drawing pictures or putting arrows and, that sort of messiness of taking notes. It does make it easy to read when it's a Google Doc, but, it doesn't always work for each person. So if you decide you want to keep, a hard journal, we're going to have to figure out a way for you to share it with me. And really the only way is for me to see it at the end of the semester. It's kind of tricky, because if you're kind of off track with keeping your journal, I don't want you to be, caught at the end. So there may have to be some process of us meeting, a Skype meeting maybe, where we can actually look at the journal together. I know that I can't actually read it this way because it's backwards, but it would at least give you a chance to sort of talk about what you're doing with your journal and maybe send me a screenshot or a picture of some of the pages using a smartphone or a digital camera. We can figure out ways to do this. There's only 10 of us in this course, so we've got lots of flexibility in terms of how we share things. So a Google folder would be much cleaner and neater, and that's what it says in the syllabus, but upon further thought and knowing my own resource processes, and this is what I do, I want you to have that opportunity to do that as well. So having said that, make sure you do have some vehicle for a research journal. I'm asking you, I think, this week to take notes on your reading of Chapter 1. You've also now got some information that I've provided you in the PowerPoints, some review, and then some extra material. You can reflect on that in your journals as well. You can start doing some on-paper thinking about your area of focus and your theoretical lens and your research style. This is just all thinking this week. Nothing concrete, but lots of thinking. But do start keeping your journal. Okay, very important for a researcher to have a journal. So that's it. Welcome to EDU 300. I'm very excited for this course. Research is a passion of mine. It's not something I get to do very often because I'm so busy. So this course not only gives me the opportunity to help you become researchers, it gives me the chance to undertake a research project as well. And I will be doing that with you. I'm going to be working on my own research project, so I'll be able to model for you various aspects along the way. And I'll invite your critiques and your feedback and your collaboration as we learn and work and research together. Have a great day.